nice to be home. And yeah, I am going to keep working on AI stuff. Let's see, get rid of that echo. And so yeah, I've got a bunch of work in progresses right now. I'm gonna work on finishing some, kind of showing some of the process, and start some new stuff too. 'Cause I have just a large amount of assets that I have built up here, and so yeah, this is one that I've been noodling on for a while. Make the background dark gray, and so it's kind of nice to see it with fresh eyes after my trip. And already I'm seeing that this horizon line looks a little tilted, so I'm going to go ahead and straighten that. What I'm trying to figure out with this one right now is more foreground stuff, and I'm going to go in and actually see if I can bring in some other assets from this project, because I generated a bunch of variants of little pieces that I've been putting together, and they're kind of my Legos. And right now, this lower right corner is a little bit unfinished, and I wanted it to be kind of like an island on this lake that has some smaller buildings on it, maybe even stuff that looks like homes. I'm really going for mood and color more than anything else for this. And this is a very interesting hybrid. This actually started out as a painting that was used with a composite of a different type of AI, and then I ran that as an init image through Disco Diffusion, and to refine the detail. So I'm going to go through right now and work on finding. This has been the issue with generating a lot of these, is that so I've got these different details, and I might want to take little pieces of this, like some of this crunchy detail here, and use it as a starting point. So yeah, I kind of like this stuff in here. It's pretty good. This kind of yeah. Let's bring some stuff in and take a look. So what I'm going to do is eliminate the lights. Makes it easier to isolate the darks. The layer style, extremely helpful thing. I'm going to convert that to smart object and rasterize, and we're going to get this stuff isolated. And just do like a really rough cutout of the stuff I want. Actually, I'll take the entire smear for now, even though it makes it a little harder to work with. I rebalanced the audio. I've got a new audio source again. So the music is too loud or quiet. Please let me know. Yeah, this is for some reason it's way easier to find royalty-free music when it's lo-fi. Could be a lot of that out there. Ever slightly too loud. All right. I will lower the music a bit. How does that sound? Great, thank you. This is like a starting point. This is This is really an impressionist painting. I'm not going for precision. This is, if this were a concept art painting, this would be like a mood, a look and feel type of work. Oops, maybe too dark. I'm trying to get something that breaks up the up and downness of the rest of it. And see, now that I have this, I can use the mixer brush and add a little bit of the up and downness. There's a balance where you want to make things harmonize, but also keep things from looking a little too samey at the same time. That's definitely one of the, regardless of what you do, what tool you use, you're always going to contend with that balance. I'm going to do a quick check and make sure that the stream is coming across on Facebook and Twitter and all that. Okay, it's working on Twitter. Facebook, yep, sweet. All right, cool. Maybe this needs to be a little bigger. Go ahead and group this. My keyboard has been sticking on my slow me down a little bit. So I've already flattened this from previously. I'm basically just trying to unify it a little more, jump around. It might be more interesting actually to watch a new one get made, but at the same time, trying to finish up some of the many new ones I've already started. Trying to push back some of this, the crunchiness of this detail up here. Lend a little bit of dimension. kind of like this little errant stroke. I just wanted to see a different angle there. So what's interesting about this is it actually kind of violates light right now. It's like normally you'd be getting a reflection of this whole situation right here. And I might do a little bit of that. I actually kind of just like the composition as it was. But I'm gonna select merge, paste, flip. I'm gonna make it a little darker. Work with the water. Mask, vert mask, and now I can paint in the light where needed. Press X to switch my brush. So I could, I'm bringing. What's interesting is, get rid of this. I could just make it look murky. Oh, interesting. I've already done this. It's just I was moving stuff around and the reflection is misaligning. There's definitely a balance here and precision for. You can see I'm just I'm adding in that reflection information. But I'm just going to do it kind of selectively. I think that the original idea was is that there was actually like some land here. So yeah, why don't I block in that whole idea? Maybe, I'm just feathering out this light stuff here. Hey James, nice to have you in here. James on Facebook says cool. Yeah, we should catch up again soon. Yeah, I've been super into the AI stuff. I think if you haven't already played with it, I think you would enjoy it quite a bit. You can really get some Nuisance on Twitch says nice cap. Thank you. Yeah, I just got it. It's someone. It was from someone at the festival I was at who he travels the world and gets upholstery fabrics from like different small dealers, like their scraps, and business partner makes hats out of them. It's a very cool idea. He had some really neat ones. Yeah, it's very cool. So yeah, this is sort of the part of the water that's reflecting the sky. As I'm thinking about maybe like having some land here. See before and after. That is a very intense dark. So I think I might leave this. I can always do the flippy thing. Oh man, everything looks like it's tilting down. I totally didn't see that. Now, of course, it could be okay that it's looking tilted down, maybe, because this part is supposed to be closer to the viewer than this part. So let's do it a little bit because it did look wonky. Playing with the shape here. I think I'll make it brighter but lower opacity. Make it like a 40% opacity and brighter so we can get that other reflection. I really like doing layered reflections when I do digital painting. I find that works pretty well. So now I'm in, I have to deal with layers. So what I've been commonly doing is just, putting in an element, inverting the mask, and then painting the positive part. I find that that's better than the reductive form of compositing that I've done in the past. There's a bunch of artifacts in here that I actually rather like visually, and that's one of the reasons it's like more of a impressionist work. Is like these little things, these little lightning-like things are artifacts of the AI stuff, and normally I'd paint those out, but I really like what they contribute to the painting. It's something I wouldn't have thought to do on my own. So I'm gonna leave. I've been debating about it, and I think I don't know. I think that they don't mess too much with the vibe. I'm setting my brush to overlay, and I'm gonna start doing some like glow effects on this building. I want to give it a little bit more substance. Back to normal mode again. I have to decide just how much I want to define this. So I'm sitting on so many works in progress. I'm thinking about going through an impressionist phase here. So by giving a little more glow, it also has a little more massing going on. I tend to have a little bit too much local variation in my stuff. So whether or not it's a style or a defect is let other people figure out. One of the problems with the AI stuff is that I've tried taking parts of this and then running it in as an init image, and it doesn't really like long lines. You get this kind of choppy look to the detail, so it's not exactly like a fractal process. I've experimented a good bit with that. I mean, that's what um like this kind of thing was actually a detail of this area right here. But when I brought it in, it didn't harmonize well with the rest of it. Like the light streaks just taper a little too much. I'm debating right now as to whether I should just flatten the whole thing. See, this thing here looks like it's probably further in the background, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a little smaller. And then push this one back a little bit. I used to use the gradient tool a lot for this, so I've started just using the brush. I feel like it helps the little irregularities that come with that. It helps to like knock everything back better. And so got that little tower up here that I've been trying to decide whether to like get rid of or not. I may switch off this one to some others as well. Yeah, this is interesting. Kind of like having this big tower back here. It kind of balances this out. Pretty dreamy. You wouldn't normally have a tower this big either. Maybe I should just try to make the whole thing a little smaller. I feather this edge a bit, jump the layer, reduce it, and something maybe a little more like that. That way it's not competing too much with the other one. Flatten, and because I have absolutely no adjustment layers above this, makes it easy to just go in and paint stuff out. Budget, good. Yeah, after being away from my computer for a while, it is nice to come back and put a little more into this. and you got these kind of islands of detail that I'm going to integrate a little bit better. I don't want to do too much, but I love the mixer brush so much. I still remember the days when the only way to do this was to use Coral Painter. Like 2014. Pretty ancient history in terms of like digital art stuff. Yeah, do I flatten this? Maybe I do, because I want to start working this in, and I think the fact that this part aligns maybe a little too well with that other one. Let's move it back here a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll iterative save this. Yeah, this is a vestige of a previous concept of like adding even more stuff. So I got rid of that. This, what was this in here for? I was doing something with this. I kind of like the idea of putting something back here. Maybe I'll use this. Oh, I have to commit this mask first. There we go. Oh, do I like that proportion? Oh right, I did the thing. The universal annoyance of all digital painters. The dreaded wrong layer. Cryle City. So Puzzlarium on Twitch says Cryle City of Fire. I like that. I need you to just name everything. I'll just stick with properties. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm okay with this. I don't want it to be the, a boring just corner fill though. Let me just, first of all, I'm going to isolate it a bit better. To delete all the stuff that's outside of it. And maybe make it so it's like a little more of like an island, peninsula kind of thing. Gonna get rid of this. Oh yeah, that kind of helps it breathe a little better actually. I'm a fan of that. can roll with that. There's still no good explanation for why it's so dark down here, other than I just want it to be. The Lord of this painting has spoken. Why is my control view not working? Okay, it must be a keyboard thing. If I slap the keyboard, I'm sure it'll fix it, right? No, it didn't fix it. So I don't know why my undo is not working, because my keys are pressing fine, my Z is working, and my control is working, but for some reason control Z is not. So this may be a Photoshop problem. So I'm gonna just try restarting Photoshop. In the meantime, I will reply to people on Facebook about this stream. Alright. Alright, let's see if this works now. Yeah, it works fine. Okay, so that is a Photoshop bug. Alright. It really seems like Photoshop has gotten buggier and buggier over the past couple years. Like, I have to have like 3 versions of it on my machine in order to do certain things because something is broken on one of those. Like the whole promise of the CC thing was supposed to be like it's way easier to like, you know, roll out fixes, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. So Twitch Puzzlarium is doing some world building stuff. It's great. Port City, Krell sits in a large island in the middle of the archipelago. Mild summers and temperate winters have led many to Silicon Island to call home. Oh, this is great. Large quartz crystals grow in the warm seas, making it hazardous to travel for ships to most of the islands. Airships are the only viable method of commerce and resupply them. Oh, now you're making me draw an airship. I see. Well then. I could show little airships coming off of the... I mean, technically some of these already look a little like airships, but let's see if I can make some little airships with the mixer brush. Giving me ideas here. Dangerous. The dangerous thing. Yeah, maybe I'll just make real little ones. I mean, this would explain why there's already little stuff in the sky. So now I challenge you to come up with why there's like random pieces of lightning in the sky. Because it really does make no sense. I don't want to get rid of it though. I really like how it looks visually. It's like, this is a growth moment for me because I usually get a little too mired in that. I'm trying to put the art before the function on this particular one at least. That's a little bright. Oh my gosh. Puzzlarium continues on Twitch. Charlotte alone is able to support large shipments, making it a hub of commerce. The city itself is made out of giant pillars of clear crystals, able to conduct electricity and power. The walls are covered in electric appliances that are plugged directly into the crystal walls. Love it. Yeah, maybe, yeah, I really have no explanation for why there is more reflection over here than over here, except that I just like how it looks. Unless Puzzlarium on Twitch can provide some explanation for it. Hey, I love it! Airships are fitted with power-reserving materials such that when lightning strikes the airships, it powers the electric and iron engines. I mean, yeah, we've got that going on right here, so, yeah. Pretty great. I'm just gonna blend the transition of dark to light here. I'm gonna lean into the airship getting powered thing. I think that's like... making it look like a little fish or something. So basically, I'm thinking that you've got some stuff under this water. Maybe they're glowing crystals underneath it. And maybe that explains why you've got it brighter here. It would also explain this light. Once again, I just like the way this light looks, but it doesn't match with the reflection at all. But you could have a diffuse light source. So yeah, let's make a gradient on overlay mode. We'll just make a layer mode on overlay. There. Overlay is such mode. But we'll make a new one here. Make it color dodge. A lot more powerful one. So I'll give it a nice extra glow here. Oh boy, that actually might be too distracting. Before or after. Sunlight and electric lights of the city conduct cleanly through the crystal such that a handful of lights shine through buildings in the water. Yeah. I can vibe with that. Airships are likewise outfitted with power-reserving material such that when the lightning strikes the airship's power state, electric and ion. Yeah, I already got that. I'm going to reduce the presence of this glow just a little bit. It's competing with the other stuff. On Twitch, the waters of the Aurelian Sea are known for their intense clarity, revealing the second subnautical half of Chiral. The crystals in the main building has been deep into the water, searching for bedrock. Oh man, you're making me want to develop this out more. I love it. I love when viewers do like world building stuff. It's super cool. Just going in with my smudge brush. Smudge brush, very useful. Gets a bad rap on that's making me want to add like another glow. And here's where like I just keep adding stuff. Yeah, that's kind of actually pretty nice, I think. Sunlight, electric lights, you can have cleanly see the crystals a handful of. The city itself is rather dangerous. Visitors are advised to pick up a wire suit, a suit of thin metal wire that conducts electricity away from their bodies like a suit of armor in a lightning storm. Love it. Love it. Trying to see how I could like roll this into Synthara somehow now. Overall concept. Hourly lightning strikes on most buildings are common. See, this kind of makes me think I should be adding some clouds here. There's a lot going on in this painting, so I was planning to have it be relatively cloudless. I mean, it is definitely a cloudy sky. It's just the clouds aren't a big factor. Let's try saturating it. Well, that subterranean use of steam that you mentioned, referring to Twitch chat here, is a common thing in the world of Phymos. Phymos did have large crystals, but they tended to be in like caverns and stuff. Going for kind of like wispy clouds that aren't too visually distracting. Better than I'm up here. I wonder if the crystals, if they're doing like piezoelectric power generation, where they could use wind or something to like basically like create a kinetic force on the crystals, bend them in order to generate power. So this is, this is the cloud layer. It does certainly look kind of empty without them, I'll say that. If I increase the saturation, I can get a little more blue going on. Let me just reduce the opacity of them just a bit, maybe 80%. If I lean into the crystal narrative, I would also want to affect the structure of the building a bit. It almost looks like these smaller buildings are like embedded in a larger crystal, like they were carved into or something like that. It is a very interesting concept. The giant electric zeppelin made of crystal. I mean, I was thinking about putting like maybe a big airship right here. Right here. So I might switch over to something else. I got this one that I've been meaning to add lighting to. Let's see. What do I want to work on? I've got this one geothermal one that I've been building up. I want to have this big old field of things that are kind of like the Grand Prismatic Spring in Yellowstone. I think that would be super cool, and it's pretty reminiscent of the Phimos project, one of the worlds I've been building for quite a while, which I like to describe as like Yellowstone on steroids. So yeah, lots of like brightly colored bacteria, and I want to play around with kind of hard to talk while also doing this. I do this stream to kind of practice doing live demos and such. And, Devin on Facebook says, "Wave, hi stranger, hello. It's nice to hear from you again. How are things in Ohio?" Oh, it's on 20% opacity. Would explain things. I want to have these up on big stacks rather than just being like a flat field. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. This one can be isolated and put on a stack. Yeah. This one right here. I'm going to duplicate this guy. And make it disappear and then paint it in. So yeah, this additive form of isolation has been pretty useful. Yeah, so this is going to be up higher, so it's going to be pretty darn stretched. I want it to go like back here maybe. It can be further in the background, I guess. And yeah, I want to have all this like kind of stuff coming off of it. So this whole stuff here is going to be brought in as well, which is why I duplicated this asset. I duplicated it so that I could use different parts and isolate them separately and not have to like worry about browsing for it again. Yeah, it's just really like isolating pieces. and I could have maybe used puppet warp to make this work, but I like working in multiple pieces. It prevents me from getting stuck into ruts, and you can get weird warping with you get weird like distortions that you don't want with puppet warp. I'm gonna remove the color dynamics on the tip. That foreground background jitter. And the brightness jitter for now. Much better. Gives me a much cleaner cut into these masks. Yeah, so I'm going for kind of like a chimney kind of a thing. I mean, it's up on a post. Right now, I don't like how this is the same size as this one. It has a very flattening effect. But to figure out, which one do I want to be further back? Honestly, this thing is a little more aesthetic. So maybe I'll make this one a little larger. Probably try multiple versions of it, honestly. It's the same techniques that have been used for photo bashing. Oh yeah, I'll make this smaller and then on top of kind of like a rounded stack. And I'm gonna be brave and go ahead and flatten this mask. Ghostin's really cool. How you get this gradient of bacteria based on temperature. So it creates these rainbows. Trying to decide how much I want to leave the trees. Do I want to make this look truly otherworldly? This whole foreground element should probably be bigger because right now this whole thing has kind of a flattened look. I think I'm gonna make the entire thing bigger. I don't lose resolution when I scale some of the smaller elements. going for kind of like this triangle in an abstract sense. Let me dip into my reserves here of yeah, I have the LOL Ethiopia as well, which came out a little strange. All of those are pretty, I think I can still use them, but they're very vignette-like. I actually think that this would make a decent foreground element. Darken it, and I want to make it a little more on the red side of things. I think I'm in the version of Photoshop that has a different bug where my lasso runs out of. My lasso basically freezes after it's been used a certain distance. Just like very weird. I don't know if anyone else has that, but. So I kind of like the abstraction of like what's happening here. It could be a nice like far distant element. And rather than just using opacity, I'm using boy, I cannot talk right now. I'm gonna put this up where the stacks are. Make it look like all this stuff piled up, basically. Yeah, something like that. This looks like this could be a waterfall of some kind. I wanted this thing to have sort of like it's sort of like a geyser where you have multiple waterfalls kind of coming off of it. On YouTube, Audio Gus asks, cool stuff, if you played around with Midjourney. Yes, I have. Very much. Midjourney is better for objects, and so I've been using it to generate kind of starting points for like car design for the racing game I'm making called Chroma Circuit. That's been and also to make objects for a very neat RPG game that is going to be coming out. I don't have a website to link to that yet, but I will say more about that in the future. So yeah, it's definitely good for like vehicles and weapons and stuff. I haven't gotten as good of results from it on environments yet, but I haven't done a lot of the advanced settings yet. I was actually just gone for almost a week away from not only my computer but internet and civilization in general. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into it. It was kind of buggy last time I was using it. A lot of like it's basically getting um it is getting inundated with new people. I don't think that their servers are keeping up. So if it worked reliably, I would be using it even more. But it's kind of frustrating because when I submit stuff, it'll at least if I'm using private mode, it'll like eat my submission, and it says it will give it to me later, and it's been like a week since I submitted a lot of my stuff, and I still never got it. They said, oh, we'll send it to you when it's ready. It'll just be late. And the thing is it's one thing if they don't send it, but they basically ate my prompts. So I have to like rethink of the prompts because it seems like, and it was pretty questionable the way that they were doing their legal stuff. They don't seem to have a contract outside of Discord. They don't have like a website. They did say that they changed their policy so that professionals no longer need to like get permission to use 10 images per month, and as long as they're not doing crypto stuff, they can just use stuff. And I'm not using this stuff for crypto, so I am happy about the fact that I have more rights to use my images. But they also made it very clear that like they can change that at any point. And like here, their contract is a Discord post where all of the posts have been edited. It's like, oh man, like it definitely feels like a Wild West right now. Yeah, the policy is way better than it was. I actually like. I was trying to figure out if they even had legal ground to stand on with that, because the U.S. at least in the United States, the Copyright Office recently ruled that AI art can't be copyrighted, and so my thought was like, well, if I'm making lots of changes to it, in theory, I can, it's a derivative work, and if it can't be copyrighted, then in theory they have no copyright to license. But it's actually a lot more nuanced than that, because the guy who tried to copyright his AI art, in that case, also owned the system, the AI system, whereas us, we are renting someone else's system when we use Midjourney, and as the system owners, they can basically set whatever terms they want. So it is a bit of a different beast than that recent ruling. So we just have to hope. The ruling was that AI cannot get the copyright. Oh yeah, but I think I see what you're saying. But I thought that they said that it had to come from a human hand. Like technically, the human would have to do something to change the work for it to be considered copyrightable by a human. I may be misinterpreting that. I'd be curious if you know more about that. Yeah, it's good to err on the side of caution. It's a pretty fascinating time to be like a copyright attorney right now, though. Like, or anyone dealing with like intellectual property. There's a lot of cool philosophical questions that are getting unlocked right now. still prefer using Disco Diffusion because of the ability to work with init images. I've found that for me personally, idea generation is like a toy. It is fun. It's a novelty, but the thing that tends to hold me up as an artist is like finishing works rather than starting them. So Audio Guest says I'm not too savvy on that, but I've also heard interpretations that an AI running autonomously without human intervention was possibly the issue. I mean, like, how do you define that without human intervention? If you were to generate something on Midjourney and not put any hand in the process besides the prompt, I mean, is a prompt by definition considered human intervention? I guess is the question. If you use a random number generator to generate everything, is that considered legally different than something with a prompt? And it's like, can the prompts be copyrighted? And yeah, you're absolutely right. There will be a tsunami of content that just steamrolls AI. I know, yeah, exactly. Especially because there's so many ways to inject a human hand into this stuff. I mean, look what I'm doing. I'm making a ton of artistic decisions that are very much human decisions, and I don't think anyone could easily rule that this is like purely AI art. This is absolutely going to change the art world forever. This is a process that's just going to I think things are just getting started. I'm really excited to be alive and creating at this time. I wish I could do more with it. I'm really busy on the game right now, and I don't want to stop the momentum on that. But at the same time, I feel like this is a really unique moment to be exploring, and so I'm doing these streams. It's almost like a guilty pleasure right now, as a distraction from the game. I do intend for the game to have AI art in it. Yeah, I'm absolutely happy to support the Midjourney crew too. They do seem cool. They've been really good about customer support, and I'm happy to financially support them too, especially after they made that change. I just hope that they get up a website that I really hope that they get off of just Discord, which as I understand they are working on. Right now it feels like they're just kind of barely hanging on and going by the seat of their pants right now. But yeah, it'd be nice if they were a little more open on where they're based and what they're all about. The reason I'm saying that is it's a little reminiscent of all the crypto stuff that was going on a couple of years ago, and it just kind of makes things harder for everyone when you're. I know they're not completely anonymous. Just some of the devs in that group definitely have links to their Twitters and everything, but. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're back. I mean, their legal offices are in Santa Clara, or at least that's where they wanted to run, prosecution stuff. So I have no doubt that there's some pretty big money behind them. It just seems like getting a front end website together shouldn't be too hard. And let's just say it made me suspicious. One of the first questions my attorney asked was are they? He thought that they were maybe a company that was just trying to harvest people's data. There's some companies, especially in China and places, that will set up a useful service, but it's there's a lot of data harvesting going on that people don't realize when they use those. But I don't think they're doing that. Not sure about this whole thing. I don't think this fully fits unless it's going to be really small. Maybe it can be like a life form that's growing on this thing. I can always like take the piece and use it for another work. Audio Ghost says I've been on there for 5 or 6 weeks and chatted with them a lot. They're very sincere in it for the right reasons. That's really good to hear. I'm happy because they have a really good product, and I was really I haven't had a lot of time to hang out on the server. I've been mostly like just working in my own private mode, and so I've been wanting to get to know them better. Very torn in a lot of directions right now. I would love to like just spend a solid week on that server and like get to know the project better. I don't even know like what cloud service is even like running it. Like, and I assume that they're holding on to everybody's images when it's getting generated. There's a lot I don't know yet, but it sounds like if I were to ask, that they would tell me. It seems like they're prioritizing community over like Pro Tools right now. That's kind of that actually kind of works. I'll roll with that. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a geyser. Yeah, the upscaling seems pretty decent. I use this tool called Gigapixel AI. I've had it for years for upscaling as well. It works pretty well. It works even better for photography, but what I would really, really, really love to have is a repository where people can submit images and the prompts that came with the image, and it's like a database that you can index different images. So you can type in a word and you can see all the images that were generated with that word used in the prompt, and then have that be like a cross-platform tool that lets you not just do Midjourney, but like Disco Diffusion and DALL-E and that kind of a thing. Anything that has like text-based input. And then you could even have a system that gives people like points every time they like kind of like a karma system every time they make a submission. I don't know. I think that could be. I would love to make some kind of a website that does that. It has forums for discussion. I feel like the community around this is kind of a mess. Like there's no really good hub for discussing the stuff. It's like there's Facebook groups, you can follow random people on Twitter, there's Discord, but I haven't found any Discord groups that are specifically about like applied AI. I recently made a Reddit group for it, but it's really hard to grow Reddit groups. Someone on Midjourney mentioned making a tool where you upload an image and then it breaks the image down into the most likely prompt. Oh, that's interesting. Boy. You could actually, it wouldn't surprise me if they're saving all the images that people are generating so that they can train it like that. That's fascinating. Yeah. I really want like a community that can compare and figure stuff out and share what they do with it. Like what I'm doing right now is like I would call like applied AI. You know, it's like most people posting stuff right now are posting like raw results, and I really want to see a place where people compare notes on like ways to use AI as either an input for something else or turning it into paint like their own artworks, and that kind of thing. I think partly the copyright retention they want is allow them to be very creative with the learning aspect. Yeah, that makes sense. Like they want to be able, if you have the copyright, you could argue that like, oh, you can't use this in the data set when you train it with stuff. Interesting. I mean, I definitely want to support research in this area. I would definitely let them have that right. Every month I make 3 real-time 3D Enviro arenas, or arenas out of Midjourney. Oh, I know, it's so good for textures. Like I could totally see using it for 3D stuff, because it doesn't have like directional lighting. Like the problem with using photos is it's really hard to get rid of, that directional aspect. And so like, oh man, so are you making like height maps out of this stuff, or are you using it as concept art to like make 3D models with it, or is there something else? Oh man, AI photogrammetry is getting good too. Like I can't wait until I can just like give it a drawing and like have it make a 3D model out of it. Even a photo. I won't be picky. I just want it, man. So, Audio Ghost, do you have a website where you're posting some of this stuff? I'd love to see it. But I do like handmade photogrammetry, slice tool, pulver, diffuse bake, easy peasy. Slice tool, pulver. Wait, are you using a displacement map using these? Like you're creating these 2D images and then slicing them over. I'm pretty curious as to this process. I don't know if you saw this recently. I'll post it in chat. Hold on, I need to log out of my account. I'm not used to using the YouTube interface here. I don't even know where my stream shows up. I'm using Restream right now, so this is showing up on multiple platforms. Guess it's in Studio. I'll deal with it later. I don't want to interrupt the stream. If you reach out to me in Discord, I'll send the link to you. But there's a very cool development in creating 3D models out of like single photos, and I was really hoping to like be able to use that for like kind of thing. On YouTube, let's see, Valerio Lee. Well, thank you for the hug. I will send a hug back to Guatemala from the United States here. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for the kind words. Oh, Night Cafe. I remember messing with that. So I have thousands of images I've made in Disco Diffusion alone, and I think like 40,000 images with GANBreeder. I've been generating stuff as for a while now. But I haven't done a whole lot with Night Cafe. I really like this section here. it looks like in Restream, I am not seeing. Okay, so here's a NVIDIA instant nerf 1,000 times faster than photograph. Oh, on Twitch, Essentia says NVIDIA instant nerf 1,000 times faster than photogrammetry in the YouTube link. I will look this up. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is really exciting. I've been doing 3D scanner with the with my iPad, but it's a point cloud. Is this a mesh?
And this approximates how light behaves in real world. And we've seen a couple of 2D to 3D, and lots of these things they are gearing towards that idea.
This
of
images to 3D models.
The light technology, which lots of people are taking advantage of.
Okay, I will definitely save this. But yeah, I don't. So this is funny, but like I don't. Oh wait, here we are. So when I use Restream to try to go to my video, I get a 404 error. So if someone could link in the chat where my video is, then I'll be able to actually see the chat. Like I have a third-party system that's porting the chat from YouTube, but I don't actually have the link to my own video. And I'm in YouTube right now, and I'm not actually seeing where my video is. My native platform is Twitch for this stuff. Yeah, Essentia's on Twitch and says I can't see any chat, just Twitch. Yeah, I really wish that this service mirrored the chat from YouTube and Facebook into the other platforms so that everything's cohesive, but as far as I know, it doesn't. Yeah, that's Restream, yep. Oh man, this subject matter was made for the Liquify tool. Well, Restream actually probably could do that because when I type into the Restream chat, it does put it into Twitch. So like, when I've been engaging with Twitch, you know, like I just wrote hello, and oh, okay, I just saw how to do it with Restream. So yeah, if I type it into Restream, it defaults to showing it in Twitch, but so I just wrote hello YouTube into the YouTube chat. Even though I can't see my video, I can use Restream to just write in YouTube. But unfortunately, it means I have to rewrite it into Twitch. Yeah, I'm still learning this system. It's when I'll eventually get up to speed. Yeah, it was just a 2-minute papers video about some. I really want to research more into like what's available right now to artists in terms of generating 3D models using AI. I don't even care if it's text-based or like how people do it. I just I need low poly prop models for my game, and I have a bunch of like all kinds of stuff I've taken photos of that would be, if I could even just approximate that stuff at this point, it would be a really useful starting point, especially if it's something involving sculpting, like a starting point for ZBrush, like just like a base mesh. Oh man, that'd be amazing. I was looking years ago. I was looking into it, but it just wasn't good enough. It's like very blobby things. Well, audio guest, if you add me, if you go to that Discord link, that's technically my group, but if you'll see me in the group. It's the name with the little crown next to it, and you can DM me. I'd appreciate it. I know it's extra steps, but if you're not able to share the link there, it would be nice. And I'm looking for people to discuss sort of applied AI art in the group as well. I just made an AI art channel for Creation Share. So if you wanted to, we've got a bunch of creative people in there. It says the link has expired. Weird. I just generated that link today. Here, let me generate it again, or let me just see. This has happened before. Yeah, it says the link will never expire. Yeah, when you tap the Discord link, you can't connect. Let me. Wait, that's the same link. So, invite friend to Samsara. Edit invite link. Maximum number of uses. No limit. Expire never. Generate a new link. I'm gonna generate a new link. Oh, weird. It's the H9GM GJR. Yeah, I need to figure this out because this is not the first time I've gotten that. So when I follow that link, it takes me to the channel. Oh, looks like you joined. Hello, yay. So yeah, so that is the same link as what was on the on that. But yeah, it's nice to have you in there. I'm definitely looking to like build a community of people who are interested in like creative ways to use these tools. Just haven't found it anywhere else really. I would love to have a forum, like an old school forum. I'm like right on the cusp of just like making one, where people can share like sort of like the raw AI and then like what they did with it. A central place that the problem with social media is stuff just gets lost in time too quickly. And yeah, yeah, feel free to introduce yourself in the group. I'd like to know more about your background and what gets you into this stuff. But yeah, as to the forum, I don't know. It's kind of a scary thing because it would take a lot of time and effort to make a forum, and there's no guarantee that it will hit that critical mass of users to stay active enough to have people coming back. But I feel like, there's a need for it, and I keep talking to people who say like they really miss forums and like, why doesn't places like ArtStation have forums and it'd be called Samsara. I have the URL already. And Samsara works because it's like a place of synthetic place, and it's also the name of the IP that I've been working on. So it works on multiple levels, but I feel like even divorced entirely from the IP, Samsara.net. I have Samsara.net and Samsara.art. And I don't know which is the better one. .net is a classic, but .art actually kind of works for this. So yeah, I'm right on the cusp. I've been wavering about it. It's like I don't even have any like monetization plans for it. I just want people to use it, and I've seen forums. I think if it had a useful database feature where people's art could be if people's art could be tagged and you've got like a database of tags, um, it would make it even more useful. The only problem with that is that like that's a bunch of time and work and money that I could be using for the video game project, and so it's a tough decision because I feel like right now is a really good time to make it. I would just hope that the people use it. I mean, the thing is, it's like some people don't even share their prompts. You know, it's like prompt artistry is almost it's like, you know, it's almost like it's someone's secret sauce. Like, I've definitely seen people withhold their prompts, and this would be a community about sharing prompts. But in theory, you could also just not, rather than sharing the prompts, share just like what you did with the raw image. So, you know, I would, for example, upload the different images that I used to make this work, and then show like what the final work looked like, and kind of talk about how I did it and all that good stuff. So yeah, stay tuned on that. I will definitely announce it on the server. And yeah, Audio Guest design on the audio bus forum for iPad music. Cool. By iPad music, what do you mean? You're producing music on an iPad? I withhold work prompts to share personal ones more. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Back to the legal aspect of prompts and like using them for work. So like I have withheld using prompts to have like living artists. I've definitely done it in a lot of my experimentations, but you know, I feel like the classical artists who are in the public domain are more fair game, but like there is no legal precedent for like if I use a living, like the artist technically didn't give their consent to be included in the training set. And so in theory, like, you know, could someone, I'm sure like I'm not a big enough fish for this to be a problem with, but like if say like Disney made something that involved a living artist, they made something with a living artist name in the prompt, and then made a whole bunch of money on it, like it seems pretty logical to me that living artist could say like, you know, the AI was trained on my stuff, this is a derivative work, or that the actual training, that the actual algorithm is a derivative work, and so you have used the derivative work without my permission. And like, who knows how that's gonna, like, there is no precedent for that yet. And so in theory, if there's no precedent, does that mean that artists right now can just like do whatever they want because there's no legal precedent, and then just like, you know, if they get a DMCA takedown later, then just so be it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like how I would feel if how would I feel if, let's say I make a bunch more work in, like, for example, my 3D cities, that is like, you know, I closely tie my own artistic identity to those works, and somebody is able to generate works that look just like that by just using my name in the prompt, and then people start, you know, selling prints and you know, album covers or who knows what else using my name. I mean, like, that could really cut into my business as a freelancer. If somebody wants an album cover and they can just generate something that looks like what they want based on my work, it does seem like it would be fair if I got compensation for that. I mean, I wouldn't mind if people just did it for personal work, especially if they credited me in the prompt. But yeah. The audio guest says artist prompt is tricky. In the end, I think this is a tsunami, and there'll be so much stuff made with AI that it's too big to take down. Yeah, and that's another thing, is that I feel like for artists who are just now breaking in, things are going to be extra hard, because even if their work has more customizability and spirit in it, and even if they would be very hireable now, there's going to be just such a flood of stuff and stuff that looks pretty good that they're just going to get lost in the noise. Like it's boy, I don't know, unless they just get really good at the tools themselves, but all of a sudden the art of marketing becomes a lot more relevant. Like how do you cut through that noise? Because I don't think making good-looking work, at least good-looking work at a glance, is going to be good enough anymore. The one advantage to the visual arts was that people would be able to tell that you were good by looking at your work for like a couple seconds. That's one of the really nice things about it compared to things like writing and to some degree music production. Those take a lot more, or goodness knows, games. That takes a lot more investment from the consumer to be able to evaluate somebody's skill. And if AI is making things that look as good as, if they're like say 80% of the way there to what a skilled painter can do, then all of a sudden there's 100 times more of it than what painters are doing. Then for the average consumer to just scroll to be able to even tell what's human made and what's not is going to be difficult, and increasingly so. And so, to me, transcending and bridging mediums is kind of a better bet, because at least, I don't think AIs are going to make games anytime soon, for example. Augusta says, I can't imagine learning to draw and paint now. The motivation would be so compromised. Yeah, there's still something to be said for being able to have an idea and put down exactly what you want. I still enjoy drawing, but I had actually drifted away from painting in the past few years, at least certainly for personal stuff. And part of that stemmed from there being AI tools and being able to get that instant gratification. Augustus have people at work say 80% too. Yeah. Yeah. When you say at work, are you like a concept artist or illustrator, or your name implies that you work in audio? So I'm kind of curious what the AI tools are doing for audio generation. For years I've been seeing news about AI that can replicate classical music composing and make something that sounds just like Bach, for example. And I'm kind of curious if can someone just put in a prompt now that's sad, somber melody as played in a, I don't know, Mexican drama or something, and actually get a soundtrack or an approximation of a melody that's just good enough to jump off of and clean up. I'm very curious how the audio side of all this is proceeding. Oh, you make 3D environments. Cool. So are the people who are your colleagues who are saying it's 80% of the way there, they're talking about the 2D side of things and not the 3D side of things? Or are they also referring to AI model generation? Oh man, I'd love to pick your brain on this later. I hope you stay in the server and share some of your personal stuff, because I'm pretty interested in that. Yeah, 2D concept art, absolutely. It's 80%. Yep. I actually just I may be giving a talk at a big concept art conference fall on AI for concept art, and A, how to use it, and B, how it's going to affect the industry, and hopefully by then some of the legal stuff will have kind of solidified. So yeah, I'm trying to keep my ear to the ground for all the new stuff on it, and they're still reviewing all the talk submissions, so we'll see if I get it. But I really hope I do, as I'd love to educate people on this score. And you sent me a video in Discord. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I may not be able to get to it until later. Got some other stuff to do this evening. I'm actually gonna have to leave pretty soon for the stream. It's been really nice to stream again, and I love meeting new people who are into this stuff. So thank you so much for stopping by and talking about this stuff. It's kind of hard to stay on top of it on one's own, especially since I'm trying to make a game. The game will definitely have art. It'll definitely have AI art. There's actually, in the lore, there are AIs that you can actually collect art. It's actually a racing game, but there's a mini game where you have to do certain stunts. They're more like precision moves, and you collect art. You've got this like trophy area where you've got all this like novel art that I'm hoping to use AI to help either fully generate or just as like a jump off point for it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and thank you for everybody else who stopped in. I may stream the resuming of this piece here. Resumption. I don't know if that's a word. But yeah, I'm liking the start. I'm gonna do some fun stuff in the background, I think, with these, and try to make it look more like an actual real place. But I'm excited to keep going with this one. And yeah, have a good one, everyone. And yeah, this will be on recording in Twitch, and I plan to do more. This is fun. Have a good night.